I'm trying to get this worked out and perfected, but hey, it's a journey. With that said, I'm actually recently getting back from study group, and so I didn't want to miss another day, and thought that I would just go ahead and kind of share with you all a little bit of what we talked about in the study group, and in particularly as it applies to me and my journey. So we are, of course, study guide number self-improvement, the basis for community development, and we're currently actually just starting study guide number 3, overcoming difficulty. So what I got to in my circle today was actually just really beginning some of the reading. So in Surah 21, or chapter 21 of the Holy Quran, verse 94 is what really stood out to me. And it says, so whoever does good deeds and is a believer, there is no rejection of his efforts, and we surely write it down for him. That was, it's really short, that verse, that ayat, but I think there's a lot in it. And the fact that the last part, it says we surely write it down for him. And I remember the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about how in many instances, if we think about the good things that we did, it's a little more difficult to come up with those, but we can really quickly come up with the bad things because that's against our nature. But those good things and the good deeds that you've done, they don't necessarily always stand out to you, but we're being told that they're being written down. And the first part, it says, so whoever does good deeds and is a believer, there's no rejection of his effort. And for me, what that tells, and throughout this chapter of the Holy Quran, is just showing you and giving you a formula of success. And throughout it, we're being, the lives of the prophets of God are being shared with us, not so that we can just look and say, oh, wow, look at that prophet, or look at this one, or look at that one. Wow, look how Allah has favored them. But what the study guide does and how it's formulated is that it gives us a picture that we start off in many instances looking outside of ourselves, looking at those who may be around us, looking at those of yesterday. And then at the end of the day, we're being pushed and urged to look at ourselves. Sometimes, it's a little more challenging to look at ourselves in the negative light, and as well as in the good light. Sometimes we think less of ourselves than we should, and some others think more of themselves than they should. But there's a balance there. There's a struggle there. And with the study guide, Self-Improvement, the Basis of Community Development, is giving us a way in which we can begin to improve our community. And that process starts with us first, beginning with the first and most, with the person that we have the ability to change the most, which is ourselves. So for me, I'm encouraged as I continue this journey. I've actually, someone shared with me one of the questions from study guide number 3, and I thought it was very interesting, and it lined up with my journey as we, as I go to free myself on this journey of becoming an entrepreneur. And that question, actually, I'll go to it real quick, and I want to share a few other things that have happened to me over the past day or so. I didn't plan on going to this, but it's actually the last question that comes up, which we didn't get to yet. But it says, have you ever faced a difficulty and turned away from it? How did that make you feel? What caused you to turn away? Was it fear of some kind, perhaps loss of job, loss of income, loss of friendship, etc.? So the two examples that were given, the loss of job and loss of income, by Allah's permission and his grace, were those that occurred to me last week. So Thursday was my last day working for the place that I worked for approximately 10 years. And, it's part of the journey as we go to overcoming difficulty. And the best way to handle that is just to face it. So with that said, Allah has been bringing people in my life, and just friends and those individuals, to be reminders to me that sometimes, even though you may believe in Allah and believe in yourself, it's just interesting when you have individuals that kind of demonstrate that they believe in you sometimes more than you may believe in yourself. So I would encourage us as we go through, if you don't have this book, I would encourage you to get it. If you don't have it, go to store.finalcall.com, get you a copy. If you have a study group or mosque in your city, you want to make sure that you visit and participate on it. Hour and a half, good use of your time on Friday evening, and join in on the Facebook page. Study. Actually, I'll put it in the comments below so you can access that. But you can go to study.noi.org. But just kind of my words for the day are really just kind of be, that we're taught that the scripture, the word that's in there is script. And the script is that which, we think about when we think about movies. And in that we're navigating, the scripture or the Bible and Holy Quran are only of value to us if we can see ourselves in it. They're not meant to just be historical books that you look back and you kind of get entertained from it, but they're to be guidance. And the only way that they can truly be guidance is if you can look at them and you can see your life in it. You can see and make a comparison of where you are at your particular time in your growth and development and where you desire to be. And understanding that even as one of the points that someone raised in the study circle this evening was that, that it's repeating itself over and over again. And she said, man, when are they going to get it? And she said, then she had to look at herself and say, well, when am I going to get it? And that's the thing, is that we can see that as they've gone through their journeys, that life is a journey. There's ups and there's downs. But the reality is we can see that as we grow, that we're providing ourselves an opportunity to get to the next step. So I encourage us to continue to move forward, surround yourself around positive people, and just know that there's nothing that you can't do if you put your mind to it. And on that note, until next time, God willing, in the morning, you'll hear from me again. Not sure if I'm going to the gym or not, but I will get some type of workout in. Peace. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.